Good morning. It's Saturday, the 27th of February, 2016. First of all, we must welcome a new Facebook friend because it's his birthday today. Yes, one of our older viewers here on the programme, boys and girls. Peter today is 75 years old. Regular customer at Central Station where I do karaoke on Mondays and Fridays. So for Peter... Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter. Happy birthday to you. Welcome along to our fun, Peter. I do hope you'll join us for a few of our television spectaculars that appear on various times during the week. We don't have like every day at 10 o'clock, like a schedule anymore. I used to have a schedule, and I found it more and more difficult to stick to it. And in this wonderful day of recording technology, doesn't need to be at the same time every day now, does it? So there we are. Happy birthday, Peter. Talking of the karaoke last night, it was very, very good last night, I must say, down at Central Station. That's in Central Station, the karaoke, which is in King's Cross, a place called Wharfdale Road. Okay, Central Station, 37 Wharfdale Road, that's Wrafdale Road, King's Cross in London. That's Mondays, 8 till 11:30, and Saturdays, 8:30 to 12, okay? We used to be 8 o'clock on a Friday, but it just becomes impossible. There were some people that used to sit on the stage, and you just couldn't get them to move. They were so slow in moving, so I gave up in the end. So we're now 8:30 instead of 8 o'clock on a Friday, all right? And then you know it will start at 8:30. I hate giving people a time. You know, you say it's 8 o'clock, and it doesn't start at 8. I'm really quite... strict with myself. If it says 8:30, it will be 8:30. It will, darling, it will. And there was someone coming really late last night, and and I've often found this, particularly with people that have been to university. Now, I don't understand why this happens, but this one come in, youngish, not young. That's the other thing. A lot of people who go to university think they're still young. You're not. You're old. Old. Not as old as me, correct, but you're old. Don't be fooled by thinking you're still young once you've been at university for a few years, dear. You're old, especially with all that partying and smoking strange cigarettes and taking various other substances. You have really aged. Oh, God, you've aged. You know. There's people like me over 50 that now look and act younger than you lot. And here's the proof. As this one come in last night, I thought I'd be friendly. Good evening. How are you today? On the microphone. I said, oh, and he had one of those Parker anoraks on, you know, with a fake fur around the hood. Green one. You know the sort. We all had those as kids, didn't we? And that's another thing. They think these are new things. Oh, don't you love it when you see something that you had as a child, my old fogey friends, like myself, well, you and my sister. My sister looks even older than me, and she's younger. How is that, sis? Anyway, so he had one of these things on. probably think it's a modern thing, but it's just a rehash of something that we had it first, dear. We had it first. And he came over, and I said, oh, I do love the use for a cat. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, cats are considered useless by some people. I said, but you've made the use for one of the tails. Well done. And he looked at me quizzically. Can I do a quizzical look? How do you do a quizzical? Looks at me quizzically and says, oh, well, I'm a Right, poker face. Oh, well, I'm a vegetarian and I abhor the murdering of animals. And I looked at him, I said, did you go to university? He said, yes, that's right. I said, you didn't get it, did you? What do you mean? I said, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's pointless me explaining it to you because you won't get it. Have a nice night. He just didn't get it. And do you know how many times I come across that now of people that have been to university and they just don't get anything. Unless it's written there in black and white and some blooming university, well, I'm going to say teacher, dictator. We'll call them dictators. Some university dictator has stood there in a big hall somewhere, with 100 students looking at him, listening to him go on and on and on. The various little splinter groups and all that. What the hell? Why don't any of you have senses and common sense? Oh, what's the answer to that? Oh, I don't know. We haven't read about that yet. They can't make it up in their own minds. And it happens so often where you say something and they just don't get it. What are they teaching in universities now? I'm sure that people that have been to university are far, far more intelligent than me. I do not class myself as an intelligent person. But I have a wicked sense of humour. And I think I have common sense. Please, try and get some yourselves. Do you know? Please put a comment underneath. Please do. Perhaps I'm completely wrong. Anyway, so that's that. It's a Saturday morning. I've got to go to the bank in a moment and put my wages in from yesterday. Although I don't know if it's very how cold is it this morning. I don't know. We need a thermometer in here, boys and girls. Not that you can't really work out the temperature from this television studio with millions of lights beaming on me, boys and girls, beaming. So I don't know how cold it is. Now for Lent I've given up crisps and bread and cakes and chocolate. Right? Now, I'm so sorry, boys and girls. Last night I was tempted, boys and girls. I've been ever so hungry on the way home, and I'm so sorry. I stopped at a BP garage, boys and girls, last night, and I purchased a cup of tea and a bag of cheese and onion crisps and a cheese and onion toastie. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I am sorry. I was tempted from the devil himself. And I succumbed, boys and girls. There's a great word. I succumbed last night on the way home. I know some of you will think, oh, it's okay. It's the proper staunch Catholics that worry me now. Will they stop watching this programme? People like the lovely Shania and her dad, Mr. Humphreys. No, not that Mr. Humphreys. No, are you being served? Not that Mr. Humphreys. No, not that one. Will they continue to work? And will they now class me as tainted goods, perhaps? Tainted goods who was unable to resist the devil himself came up. I was going to say came down. No, he came up from hell itself and served me behind the counter at the BP garage. I mean, he looked like him to me anyway. He spoke English. That was the strange thing. With a sort of foreign Indian type accent. He did speak English, but it looked like the devil to me, dear. And I took those crisps and I ate them. Oh, they were the best bag of crisps I've had for years. But anyway, apart from that, so I've been 2 weeks on this no bread crisps, and I'm not lost any weight. I don't get it. I'm not lost any weight. Now, Andy, who is my mate Ronnie's other half, says, have you replaced those things with something else? I said, well, no, I don't think I have. I honestly don't think I have, and I can't work it out, so the weight hasn't come off. So another friend of mine, Paul Dale, who is a regular karaoke type person, Paul Dale says it could be wheat. I think it was Paul or Robert anyway. One of the two. Sorry, Robert or Paul. Which one is it? He said it might be wheat. Cut out all the wheat. Now that's a little bit more difficult than you think. It's not just bread. You see, I have bran flakes in the morning. You think, oh, bran, very good, but they're bran flakes made of wheat. I like pasta, in particular spaghetti. Spaghetti is made of wheat. Even the whole wheat one is made of wheat. So I think I'm going to have to knock those things out as well, even if it's just for a week, and see what happens then. You know, this morning, and do you know, it's difficult. I do like my bran flakes. I have the fruit and fibre, you know, the bits with chopped up bananas and coconuts and things like that in it. I do have that in there. And I quite like it in the morning. And the other thing is, I've still got 2 boxes in the cupboard. Difficult when they're in the cupboard, isn't it? To give them up. I know you. You got a few bars of chocolate and crisps in that cupboard, haven't you? And you say, oh, I won't eat them anymore. And then you open that cupboard and they're there. They're there. Literally, the devil comes back up from underground, sits in your cupboard and hands them to you as you're standing there, dear. It's awful. Awful. So there we are. No weight lost. I don't know why that is. I'm off tonight. Saturday night I'm off. I now have off every other Saturday. And I'm kind of not looking around to replace these desperate. I don't need to do them. You know, if something comes along, I think I'll probably, okay, I'll do that for you. You know, something like that. But I'm not actually actively, probably those of you who are on my Facebook and that will have noticed in the past, if I get a night off, I'm immediately on the Facebook looking to replace that. And kind managers and people offer me work and I take it straight away. Always have done. But I'm not actually looking, because I do quite look forward to a night off now and again. I did have one on Tuesday as well. And I took my mate and his other half to dinner at a place called Piccolo's. Piccolo's. Isn't that a good... I love that name. Piccolo's, which is in Virginia Water, not far from here. And it's a fairly big place and generally good service and all that. And it was all right. But last time we were there, which was, I think, was just before Christmas, we sat there and we seemed to have 3 or 4 boys fussing around over us, you know, while we're eating, you know, like waiter type people, which I quite liked. Ordered, yes sir, no sir, anything else, sir? I quite like being fussed over by the lads. That was very nice, and you know, they got a decent tip from good old Chris, a decent tip. But this time we only had one. We had one boy running around after us. You know, he was a bit older than the other ones. To be honest, I think he was about 35, this one. You know, and I'm sorry, bad breath. Bad breath, dear. Oh, it's nothing worse. Nothing worse than a waiter with bad breath, is there? Please. For God's sake. Now, the service was all very good. And that was all right, you know, and the bill came. Jesus God, the bill came. Don't I know it came? You know, I'm sure Ronnie and Andy didn't hold back on what they were ordered as soon as they found out someone else was paying for it. I'm sorry, that's how I feel on the whole subject. But, and I gave a tip, and we had a nice night and all that. But we didn't have all these boys fussing around over us, dear. Most disappointing. Most disappointing. So that was our Tuesday night. Quite expensive, though. I thought it was quite expensive for what we had. But never mind. It's done now. And finally, the new dishwasher is working fantastically. I'm just about to put another load on after I finish doing this worldwide television broadcast. Did you see the story about the Flying Scotsman train that they've re-put back together and made working again? What's that word? I can't remember that word. Look, I have a model of the Flying Scotsman. Yeah. Oh, sorry, wait a minute. Choo, 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 choo. It's a bit like on the Railway Children, isn't it? And all the steam comes out. And there out comes the father from the steam, and little Jenny Augator, or whatever her name is. She's like, Daddy, my daddy, and she goes running through the steam. I want that to be me, through the steam. I want that to be me. But we don't have many steam trains coming through Bracknell Station. Unfortunately, look at the Flying Scotsman, my little model. That used to be one of my favourite Christmas... oh, no, that wasn't a Christmas present. My favourite toy is this one. The Flying Scotsman. Round and round on the track it used to go. And come on, lads. Come on. So much more interesting than sitting there playing a computer game. Oh, it's made me very tired. I'm going to have to go. Oh, computer games. No, bye-bye. I'll say bye quickly. I'm going to follow. Shh. See you soon. Shh. Computer games. Oh.